Welcome back, audience. I'm here in our Thaumcraft room. We've got nice floaty thingies going into our infusion altar because I am making a wood golem worker. I'm going to show you why I'm making a wood golem worker. Today's episode is going to be something of an explanation and update of the new design for my automatic tree farm, which I think I've shown you before, but this update makes things very interesting in my opinion. Now, the problem that I have had with this particular farm is that I haven't put any transposers or anything to collect saplings. So I started with half of this full of saplings. So I am down over 2 stacks right now. And the main reason is because I don't have anything to collect them. So here is a stupid spider gnawing the daylights out of me. And here is Mr. Wooden Golem. This guy is a simple wood golem, and he's too dumb for anything complicated. But he is not too dumb to pick up saplings off of the ground that fall from my tree farm. So that is awesome. And I also wanted to take a little bit of time and explain the circuit to you because I'm not sure if I have done that at all yet. Also, by the way, I do occasionally lose one sand. And the sand doesn't just disappear, it falls. So that being the case, Mr. Golem here will be nice enough to pick that up for us. Okay, so as soon as this is done harvesting a little bit here, I am gonna, actually we'll just stop it now. That's good enough for now. Okay, so the way this works is I have a timer here and it's set to 0.8 seconds, okay? And that's the amount of time it's going to take to do, not a full cycle obviously, but like one operation, alright? It's okay, doggy. It's alright. Sit. 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 Good girl. Yeah. That's Jasmine. That's my doggy. Okay, so 0.8 seconds for one operation. And then I have a timer here. I'm sorry, a counter here. And the counter is a maximum count of 18 with a decrement of 18. I think it's decrement. Anyway, an increment of 1. So every time this timer goes off, the counter goes up 1, alright, until it hits 18. And the reason it's 18 is because there's 9 between the piston and the floor. So it only ever needs to break 18 things, because you have to assume the tree could be a maximum of 9 tall, which is never going to be the case, but you have to account for that anyway. And then 9 sand is pushed out, which then has to be broken. So then we have a buffer just to keep the signal from this line going back through. We want it to go out that way only. Alright? And another counter. Alright, so essentially this timer increments 2 counters, okay? This one and this one. This one goes 18. This one goes 9. And 9 decrement 2. Alright, so then from there I have a NOT gate. And the NOT gate makes it so that if this timer here has reached its maximum, if it's gotten to 9, then this AND gate does not receive a redstone signal from the NOT gate. Alright, and the AND gate is also getting a signal through this buffer from the timer. So if the timer signals, which goes 18 times, and this has not yet reached 9, then this purple wire will be powered. Okay, it'll receive a signal. And the purple, as you can see, after I fall here, let me just get back up here, and let's patch this up. And I believe I can put this in this here too. Okay, so the purple goes up to the piston and the deployer, okay? And the deployer will go first, and then up there I have, you can kind of see the edge of it. There is also a repeater, and the repeater is like 1 tick, I believe. And that goes to the piston. The piston pushes the sand that is in the deployer down, okay? And that is what makes the entire system so that it can push the tree down so that it can harvest the next part. And that only happens 9 times because there's 9 between here and here. Alright, and then the last 9 times the timer goes off, this will be powered on because it will have already gotten to 9, which means purple won't go off. But white will still continue going off because that's directly powered from the timer. So all 18 times white goes off, and as you can see, white goes here to our breaker, which is this here. Okay, now when the entire thing is done, okay, that is when this timer here counts to 18, then this buffer will trigger, okay, and that will power this. It will signal on this red wire, which will reset this counter and this counter, and it will signal the yellow, okay, and the yellow comes under here, under this deployer. The deployer has, basically there are 2 repeaters, okay, and each one is a different timing, okay, and what it does is after the breaker goes off for that 18th hit, the first repeater goes off, and then the deployer is fired, which will deploy your sapling, okay, and then the second repeater will go off because it's on a different time, okay, and that will deploy again, which will deploy the bone meal, growing the entire thing. And since these were all reset, they can start counting up again. So that means the whole process starts over again. So that is how this system works, and it's a timer, counter, buffer, counter, not, and, with a buffer under the timer. It's actually very simple. I mean, the design is very simple. The logic is a bit long-winded, obviously. So that is how my new design for the tree farm works. Now, another thing you can do, if you want to, and this actually lags my game a little bit as it runs, but only when I'm recording. Another thing you can do here is, if you wanted to, you could put, you could use state cells for pretty much this entire process, actually. Instead of this, you would set up some state cells. But that is going to have to be for another episode. And you can also set it so that when this triggers, when this top red wire triggers, instead of only resetting everything, it could also, you could send a wire over to a state cell down here with, I believe you would have to put a NOT gate. You might not. I'm not positive. But essentially a state cell would allow you to keep this timer off for, say, a minute or 2 minutes, something like that, and that would give time for the leaves to decay. You might have to change your timing up so that instead of on the last tick the new tree getting deployed, on the first tick it gets deployed. That would be a challenge. But if you do the state cell setup, then it would not. And here goes our wooden golem picking up our saplings for us. You're doing a fine job, buddy. A fine, fine job. Thank you for your cooperation, sir. Hey, don't be pushy. Oh, yeah. Oh, alright. See, on that last tick, on the very last tick there, it grew a new tree for us. So, I've been trying to keep my episodes a little bit short, so I think I'm going to call that the end of the episode for today. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something, and if you did, please click like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.